Hello, I'm Mark Gillard, Orientation and Mobility Services Specialist at Guide Dogs for the Blind. Welcome to this educational video about the Juno exercise. The first objective of the video is to break the Juno exercise down into component parts, to talk about the footwork, hand signals, body positions and verbal commands a student needs to learn. The second objective is to show how to teach the Juno exercise accurately and efficiently.
1. Handle grip. Guide dogs are traditionally trained to work on the handler's left side. The student grips the handle with their left hand, palm facing down. The handle is positioned comfortably with the 4 fingers wrapped around and centered on the grip, with the thumb resting behind. Grip pressure should be firm enough to allow the student to secure the handle and exert a light pull. The student should maintain a slight bend in their wrist and elbow. When the student works with a guide dog, a leash will connect to the dog's collar. The leash will run the length of the handle and rest on the grip tucked underneath the student's left index finger. 2. The halt position. The halt position is the first one taught in the Juno exercise because all others originate from this position. The student stands at Juno's shoulder with their left foot slightly ahead of their right. The feet should be shoulder width apart to maintain balance. The left foot is used to probe, to gain information about the ground surface, and to detect elevation changes, so it is also referred to as the probe foot. The left arm is extended behind the student's body parallel to their left side. It should be almost straight but not locked at the elbow. 3. The forward command. In order to have the guide dog proceed forward from the halt position, the student gives the verbal command, Juno, forward, and a simultaneous hand gesture with the right hand. It is important for the student to say the dog's name first to gain its attention before giving the command. The student should wait for Juno to move off before they proceed. 4. Following position. During guide dog travel, it is important for the handler and dog to travel smoothly as they move through space together. In order for this to occur, the handler must maintain a correct following position as they are walking, which is about level with the dog's hips. Being too far back would result in the handler's response being delayed, making it difficult for the guide dog to clear obstacles. Conversely, the handler should not be too far forward. About 3/4 of the dog's body should be in front of them, so they are protected from obstacles and elevation changes, and have enough time to react if the dog stops or changes speed or direction. 5. Right and left turns. The right turn. Both right and left turns begin in the halt position. For the right turn, the student steps back with their left foot about 1 pace, so their left leg is level with Juno's hips. Then they step back with their right foot about 1 pace and point the foot in the direction they will be turning. The position of the feet should result in the hips being open to allow Juno to turn in front of the student. The feet should be about shoulder width apart to maintain balance. As the student moves their left foot, they say, Juno, and by the time their right foot is in position, they say the word right, and make a sweeping hand gesture with their right hand from the left hip to the right hip. The left turn. For the left turn, the student begins in the halt position. They turn their entire body 90 degrees to the left, starting with their left foot and face in that direction. When in position, they give the command, Juno, left, and give a hand gesture in the direction of intended travel with their right hand. 6. Downcurb Approaches. Guide dogs are trained to stop at every down curb, including wheelchair ramps and blended or flat curbs. Downcurb approaches are important skills to practice because they influence street crossings. If a guide dog team makes a straight approach to the downcurb, this contributes greatly to accurate alignment and a straight crossing. Once at the curb, the student moves into the halt position and uses their probe foot to find the curb edge. This is important for orientation and alignment purposes. It also serves to indicate to the guide dog that it has performed the correct behavior. 7. Street crossings. Guide dogs are trained to enter the street and walk in a straight line to locate the upcurb after the handler gives the verbal command, Juno, forward, with an accompanying hand gesture.
Graham, forward.
A guide dog may change line during a crossing to move around a pedestrian, or slow down or stop momentarily due to a vehicle passing in front of the team. The student's role is to be oriented to the intersection, make an accurate assessment of when to cross, and to give Juno the forward command. They are also responsible for maintaining a suitable following position and responding to speed or line changes initiated by the guide dog by adjusting their body position and walking speed. If the student detects Juno veering inappropriately as opposed to a brief directional change, they should stop momentarily,
Juno, curb.
regain their sense of direction, and give Juno the verbal command, curb, being ready to follow Juno in the correct direction. 8. Upcurb Approaches. A guide dog is trained to seek out the upcurb or wheelchair ramp on the opposite side of the street and come to a complete stop. If there is an elevation change, the dog will indicate the height by placing its 2 front paws on top of the curb. The student must maintain a correct following position and allow Juno to work to the upcurb. This includes adjusting their travel speed to maintain following position in response to Juno slowing down as the team approaches the curb. Once at the upcurb, the student should assume the halt position and use their probe foot to detect the curb, then give the forward command to exit the street. In situations with traffic or a timed walk phase, the student should be prepared to exit the street as soon as possible for obvious safety reasons. 9. Encountering an obstacle. For an obstacle that partially blocks a student's path, a guide dog is trained to briefly walk offline to clear the object and then return to the original line of travel. In these situations, the student responds to the dog's change in direction by following the harness handle to the left or right while maintaining their following position. If the dog slows down during the clearance, the student needs to adjust their walking speed as well. It is important for a student to be familiar with Juno making clearances for obstacles on both the left and the right. To clear obstacles on the left, Juno will have to move toward and slightly across the student. The student needs to respond by adjusting their travel speed and body position as they follow the handle to the right. Following the clearance, the student needs to anticipate Juno resuming the original line of travel and be ready to follow back to the left. For objects on the right, the student will feel Juno breaking away from them as the handle moves to the left. They need to ensure they maintain following position and not get too far behind as Juno clears the obstacle. After the clearance, the student needs to anticipate Juno resuming the original line and be ready to follow back to the right. For obstacles that totally block the student's path, a guide dog is trained to walk up to the object and stop. The student may have to check 3 different planes to locate the obstacle: the ground by using the probe foot, chest high by using upper body protection technique, and head high also using protective technique. When the student locates the object, they should give verbal praise. Guide dog handlers may also give a food reward.
I hope you found this video a useful resource. I'd like to emphasise the importance of orientation and mobility specialists in the preparation and support of clients wishing to train with a guide dog. Thank you. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me at Guide Dogs by calling 1-800-295-4050. You can also speak to one of our instructors. If you'd like to email, you can use the address information@guidedogs.com. There's also some very useful information on our website at www.guidedogs.com.